So, so what is quantum reality?
So again, going back to maybe the simulation theory. So everything exists in a quantum state and in a physical manifested state, so to speak.
Hmm.
And so the quantum signature of things, it's kind of like the energy or the probability of
Right.
something existing happens before it exists. So
Right.
it's a state of being that allows all probability to be. And then here comes you as a one unit of consciousness. You're an intelligent being, creative being, right? And so you are one form, one type, one way that consciousness expresses itself. So you are this one unit of consciousness, and you are in this pool of probability, future probability. So the minute you put your focus on this outer reality, the world of probability, and you say, I want this or I want whatever, then that interaction triggers a chain of reaction that that is energetic, because we're still at a quantum level, that eventually precipitates.
So let me unpack that for a little bit. So and a lot of times when I bring on people talking in science language, I try to bring in the spiritual language to kind of
Sure.
translate it a little bit. So we, from a spiritual standpoint, we at least from my spiritual studies and people I've had on the show before, we plan our lives ahead of time. We come down, we go through different adventures, different obstacles to things to learn along the way to grow and evolve as a spiritual soul. While we're down here, we have free choice, which is a big issue with when people talk like you're talking. They're like, well, wait a minute, we have good free choice. We do have free choice. We always have free choice. But the chances of me walking along a street and then, oh, I'm going to go burn that tree down. Could I do that? Absolutely. I could go there, set it on fire and watch it burn. The chances, the probability of me doing that is not going to happen. More than likely, I'm going to keep walking. I'm not going to kick the dog that's sitting there. Probably just going to pet him and move along. So there's always different, opportunities for anyone to do anything. How many times I don't know if you've ever done this. This is a guy thing. You've just sit there talking to somebody. And I did this when I was younger, and I was just thinking, like, you know what? If I just clocked him in the face, he would never see it coming. Like when you're a teen,
It's
like
so funny.
it's like I'm just talking to this person, like, if I just clocked him in the face, he would never see it coming. Could I do that? Absolutely. Probability, not so much. But
Mm.
but the potential always is there. So that's kind of where if I'm correct in kind of translating what you're saying, it more likely will go in a certain direction. Does it sometimes go in another direction? Sure, because we do have free choice. And there are things that you could at any moment just change your mind. I could turn this interview off right now. We could, you could just run around the room, and these are things we could do, but chances are we're not going to do. Is that fair?
You will never do that to me,
I would never.
Alex.
Loving this conversation.
No, no, but it's true. But to me, I feel that there's two things happening here. Before you incarnate, you come in with what I call a prenatal contract. Because creation is purposeful. I mean, look at every single cell in your body has a purpose. There's not one thing that doesn't do something. So kind of as a base concept, if you will, ingrained with existence, creation is purposeful. So you come in, you create, you say, okay, I'm going to come down to planet Earth as Alex, and I'm going to do all that stuff. So it's a creative thought and idea and plan. And so because of that, you have some sort of goal. You have a contract. You said, I'm going to go down and I'm going to help people awaken. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to make films or what have you. But it's also a bigger picture. It's more, how do I contribute to the evolution of my consciousness and to the collective consciousness? Because as soon as I come in as a human, automatically I am contributing and I'm affecting the collective consciousness. So you come in with this, pre-plan, if you will. But of course, when you're down here, the idea for you, in order for you to be in the moment and to create from a place of authenticity, then you're not always remembering your prenatal contract. You're in the moment, and this is where you still have free choice. So you said free will. And so at one point in your career, when you were younger, what have you, you had a choice. Do I take these drugs? Do I get into the alcohol and whatever or not? My friends are doing it. What should I do? You still have free will. So somewhere in the back of your mind, you have the remembrance of your prenatal contract that tells you, wait, you're here to do spiritual awakening, help people awaken spiritually. So if you go down on this road, you're probably not going to achieve what you said you're going to achieve. So something within you, feels wrong about making that choice. So even though it's still your free will, your higher self is always aware of the bigger picture and the prenatal contract, and it's going to trigger that response. Like, no, keep walking. Don't burn down that tree. Don't take that drug. Don't go down this road, whatever, so that you remain on that path and you fulfill that contract that you set out for yourself.
To watch the full video, click on the link below, and don't forget to subscribe.